Hey there, Internet! Most of you probably don't want to think about this little nifty tidbit of factness, but it is the truth, and that is, it's officially getting to be back to school season. Dun dun dun! Okay, really? Is the, construction crew outside of my window necessary? Hold on. Anyway, as a part of the whole back-to-school type dealio, I've realized that I should probably get around to actually cleaning up all of the coming home from school things that are still sitting in a large pile in the corner of my room over there. And so I've been going through all of these old school papers and books and little things that I've just shoved in my book bag from literally the past 4 years because I've just been accumulating it and have yet to actually clean any of it up. I've just been getting more. And I've realized how much of my life is sitting there in a pile on my floor wrapped up in papers and homework assignments and little dinky notebooks that I've written random things to my friends in. And there are all these things that I think so many people would be quick to call clutter and just be like, throw it away, put it in the recycling bin if you're being eco-friendly and all that, whatever. But so many people in general would just be like, get rid of it. It's not really the kind of stuff that's worth saving. But then I look at this stuff and go, this is my life. A large part of my life, at least, because I've always really enjoyed the whole, at least, experience of school, if not the little day-to-day minutia of it. And school has been where all my friends are and where most of my valid accomplishments are, and all of that's just in there sitting in a pile of clutter that is worthless to so many people except me. And so as I've been sitting here rifling through all of this junk, trying to decide what I could possibly bring myself to get rid of, and probably crying a little bit as I look through all of these old things from my life, because that's what I do when I look through old things, is I get sad, and then and then it's embarrassing, and then I just tell everyone on the internet about it. Anyway, as I've been going through all this stuff, I've come to the realization that life is just this pile of clutter that we are left to do our very best with, sorting through and figuring out what's important and figuring out what isn't worth all that much attention. And then maybe when we lose something that's important, we have to figure out how to get it back or replace it or fix it or decide maybe it just wasn't worth having in the first place. And this video is getting very metaphorical, and if it doesn't make any sense, then I'm sorry. And while I realize that most people's piles of life clutter aren't really quite as literal and physical as mine is, I still think it's a very valid point that there are so many things that we look at in life and say, oh, that's just meh, I don't really need to worry about that. But sometimes those things are the most important. And through a series of events in my life over the past week or so, compounded by the fact that I've been going through all this old stuff, I've come to the realization that there's a whole lot of more important stuff in life than we often tend to give it credit for. And sometimes I worry that people are just way too quick to throw things away instead of actually sitting there and thinking about, maybe this is something that I should value, and maybe it's something that I need to preserve, and maybe I should frame it and hang it on my wall. And maybe I'm just using this odd metaphor thing as an excuse to justify the fact that I still have a large pile of clutter that I just don't want to get rid of and don't know how to sort through. But I don't know, do you get what I'm saying? That this pile of friends and events and things and places and memories and stuff that we wrap up in a bundle and call life is so much more, I can't figure out what I'm trying to say, and it's really, really difficult, is worth taking the time to sort through rather than just brushing it all aside and throwing it into the great recycling bin of the beyond, which is probably a term that has never been used before, ever, ever, ever. But yeah, I guess those are my thoughts for today. Yeah, I just gave myself a dead leg. And in conclusion, I just want to say, don't be so quick to brush off your life, because it's the only one you've got, and it's happening right now, and sometimes you just gotta be a little bit more in the moment. So don't be so quick to just brush away all that clutter. But at the same time, and this is a lesson that I need to learn, there are some things that aren't worth holding on to, and it is an incredibly difficult and challenging and wisdom-requiring skill that I don't have, to figure out what's the clutter and what's the life and where do they overlap and what do you get rid of and what do you keep and hold on to. But I hope that maybe as I go through this life and as you go through this life watching my videos for whatever reason, that we can help maybe figure this thing out. And maybe this video is one of those just clutter things, and maybe this video is one of those things that's maybe kind of important, but I'm going to put it on the internet, and that's that. Until next week, deuces.